most of these reports, I would say, are pointing towards one thing that when our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji was in Tianjin, at that point of time, two things happened. One was, it was what Modi ji said from his own, on his own, he said that. So that's perfect from his perspective. But if we try to get a meaning out of it, it is now one of the most formidable forces in the planet.
Okay.
And as a country, it has grown grown like anything from in all sectors, and that's something which has caught the eye. From that deep state perspective, I would like to say here that it's not that they haven't tried before. They have tried before. They have done it before, long back, long back. Now, they have been, the moment they see India growing, that's when the eye catches the attention. The entire country of Bangladesh has become now a breeding ground for terrorists. And it's not from today. It started back in 2024, September, when, apart from the ISI, there's one ISI agent who was killed, who was found dead in the Sheraton Hotel in Dhaka on the same day. Now, there are ISI agents who are plenty right now in different parts of Bangladesh. Along with,
Okay.
there was no postmortem, nothing. He was just taken back. And there was nothing registered. Isn't it a bit of a little
Fishy.
strange? I'm not going to say fishy. As far as Bangladesh is concerned, it has become, as I said, the terrorist hotbed right now. And it will do anything to harm India's interests.
Okay.
No doubt. As Indians, we can't we will honor the sacrifice, but we can't put that out in public. We can't. So, from that perspective, I think they are the real unsung heroes of the country. And that's the reason I took the name of Black Tiger. They are not going to go further down the line because they have been beaten continuously in this war of intelligence.
Hello and a very warm welcome to the Nationalist Madrasi. Today we are going to discuss about an important topic which has taken place in recent times. And to discuss the topic, we have an information warfare specialist and communication intelligence specialist. Dr. Ayanjit is joined with us. Namaste, Dr. Ayanjit. Thank you for joining with us. Ladies and gentlemen, few weeks before Modi ji has traveled to China, Tianjin, for the SEO summit, and it has been nearly after 4 to 5 years Modi ji is officially traveling to China, it seems, and previously before that the Chinese Xi Jinping has come here for a summit during the COVID time. That is before the COVID times actually. So during this summit, there have been speculations and a lot of theories which have been going on that there has been a plot to kill our Prime Minister Modi ji. So we are going to discuss about that topic in detail with our information warfare specialist, and we'll discuss all the aspects which has been there, and we will also discuss about the neighborhood tremblings. The uprisings which has happened in Sri Lanka, or the regime change which has happened in Nepal, or the regime change which has happened in the Bangladesh as well. So we will talk about all these things in detail. So Sir, let me start this topic with this question actually. What was the actual plan? Because there have been regime changes. We'll talk about the regime changes also in after some time. So what was the actual plan? How did it took place? And who was behind all of this? And because this is not a small thing that we can cross over like anything. So it's the leader of one of the biggest democracy, and it is one of the second populated country as well. So what is your take on that?
And I think, there are reports coming in from different quarters now, and these reports, most of these reports, I would say, are pointing towards one thing that when our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji was in Tianjin, at that point of time, two things happened. One was US Special Forces guy based in, at that point of time, based in Bangladesh, suddenly was dead, found dead in his hotel. And at the same time, you've had a 45-minute conversation that took place between the Russian President Vladimir Putin and our Prime Minister. And that too inside his own, Mr. Putin's own car, which of course is so well done up that no spy satellite, nothing of any sort, it can withstand bomb blasts starting to anything. So it's one of the most secure cars in the world. And from that perspective, I think that 45-minute conversation may have been something substantial, which the two leaders may have discussed between themselves. Definitely something is in the air to do with, the both incidents coming on the same day. And by the way, to tell you of one more incident on the same day itself was one ISI agent based in Bangladesh was staying in the hotel Sheraton in Dhaka, and this guy was also neutralized.
Okay.
Now, how it happened, actually, who took it and all, who did it rather, these are all, you can't kind of say that basically from a public point of view. But one thing is sure that these incidents have taken place so closely to each other that one thing is certain, you have to make it a 2 plus 2 plus 2, that kind of a scenario. But it's difficult to establish such information. So there's always, most of these stories which are coming out, always is coming out either with a question mark or with a terminology called if. So this kind of reports which we see out right now, trying to get both 2-3 incidents together in one place, definitely smells of something. And what's going on right now in Bangladesh, inside Bangladesh currently, if we see it from that perspective, then, there are reasons to believe that some part of it may be true. However, we can't establish it. But at the same time, I would like to say that definitely things are on the move against India from different quarters. Reason is just one, the growth of India. Because the way India has grown over the last 10 years and how it has reached where it has reached now, one of the topmost nations right now, from all perspectives, there are people, there are countries who are not going to take it that easy. They're eyeing, how come suddenly India has come on the forefront? But it has. So I would tell them, you need to acknowledge it rather than trying to defy it. Because if you try to defy India, you will yourself lose what you are and who you are.
Got it. Let us talk about this operational stance and the joint operation stance in a later part. Days after, the very next day, Prime Minister Modi was attending a private conference, and there he was telling, sarcastically telling that 2 days before I went to, last night I came from China. So there was a sarcastical joke, and people are now getting it, what he meant and what he actually was trying to convey. Whether you are clapping for that, I came in, or I came here, I'm here, something like that. So it was more of a sarcastical, he did it in his usual sarcastical manner. So is that a message to the world, like, okay, you can't do anything, or our intelligence force is there, or my true friends are there, something like that? Is that a message to the world, Doctor?
I don't think it's a message to the world.
Okay.
I think you cannot establish that fact because it was what Modi ji said from his own, on his own, he said that. So that's perfect from his perspective. But if we try to get a meaning out of it, that gives a different take altogether, because people have taken things differently, interpreted it differently, rather, I can say. But I think in the speech, you cannot kind of say what he may have just laughed it off. That's what actually the way he replied back. He says, "Are you happy because I'm back?" So, but we can't read too much into it. So I think we'll not go too in depth into what actually his reply was at that point of time. But yeah, most of these places. Where it has been shown, they have taken this clip out and have tried to reason it with what's happened in Tianjin vis-a-vis the incidents in Bangladesh.
Doctor, let's also talk about the deep state involvement, because I just want to keep the state or the agency separate, and I just want to, fully talk about the deep state involvement, because we'll talk about the involvement of deep state in the neighboring state as well. So how much is the deep state involved? Because we can see that the US special force person is eliminated, or let's say he has been also there, and we will talk about him as well specifically. And we have been seeing that an ISI, and there is also a joint operation which has been trying to be taken over. And how much of an involvement of a deep state is there, doctor?
I think deep state has always played its part, no doubt. And if you recollect that the moment after the fall of the Hasina government, at that point of time, there were people from the so-called deep state of the US who came over and met the Muhammad Yunus, who's right now the so-called
Interim government.
Of the interim government. But the point here is that definitely the deep state has had involvement in different countries across, and in different ways, mind you. But as far as this current situation in South Asia is concerned, I would say deep state's involvement is definitely there.
Okay.
Because they have a typical habit of either you follow us or we'll create troubles for you. That's the kind of terminology they believe in.
Okay.
Because we are here, and if you are here, you need to follow us. If you don't, then we are going to try and do something.
What is this? What is the special case with India? Let's talk about that.
Well, as far as India is concerned, as I said, and the deep state is saying, oh God, these guys have suddenly grown like anything, all of a sudden.
Okay.
In the last 1 decade, it has grown like leaps and bounds. Now, that's something which I think, from that perspective, it has caught the attention. And the moment you catch the attention, they're thinking now what to do with India. It's the way it is rising. It may touch us very soon, and it may go above us as well in times to come. So it's better to create some kind of a situation whereby India would be bothered about its own area, own neighborhood, and own places, rather than bordering more on the global issues. So talking more on the global issues. Now, from that perspective, I think it's just a stunt.
Okay.
But it's never going to be successful, because India will do what India wants to do. That's for sure.
Got it.
And in all its international endeavors that has happened, I would say that India has not only made friends with countries in a way that, where mutual interests have always been an integral part of it. And from that perspective, I think the growth of India will never be stopped. And that's one reason why they have thought this is one way how we can try and destabilize the country. Little do they know, those days are gone when you used to think of destabilizing India. If you try to destabilize India today, you yourself will bear the brunt of it.
Got it. So, can we say that the deep state is trying for a very long time? Because there has been reports which is coming in. They were trying to play during the 2024 elections as well. That's why the ruling government has got some less numbers as well. And we can see that the Modi 2.0 especially, that has faced a lot of agitations from various sectors. Let's say farm protest, and that has we can see that there has been foreign forces involved. Anti-CAA protest has been there. So in that also we can see when Trump was in India, I think if I'm not wrong, when Trump was in India, this is pre-COVID era. After COVID era, there were multiple agitations which has been happening, and there were multiple foreign forces which were trying to involve in those kind of things. So what's your take on this, doctor? Because we can see that the deep state is trying for a very long time, but even though they couldn't succeed it, and we will talk about the neighboring code. And can we come to a conclusion that the deep state is trying for a very long time, or can I put it in this manner? It is not the deep state; it is the regime change which has happened in the middle. That Biden has been coming to the power, and that period has been so called. They were trying to push off India. They were trying to press India to that extent. What is your take on that, Doctor?
I think I'll not take the government perspective. I'll take the deep state perspective. From that deep state perspective, I would like to say here that it's not that they haven't tried before. They have tried before. They have done it before, long back, long back. Now, they have been, the moment they see India growing, that's when the eye catches the attention. If India would not have been what it is today, they would have hardly bothered. They would have embraced India like anything. Oh, come on, just the way they're embracing Pakistan now. So this is how the entire balance shifts. But they have to remember, of course, I can tell you one thing, that there are foreign forces which are playing a role inside India as well. And thereby, what they're trying to do is, they are picking up individuals. I'm again repeating, not organizations. They're picking up individuals from different strata of life, from different professions, not anything to do with only one profession, across different professions, and giving them all benefits, quote unquote, whatever they can, and trying to win them over to their side, and trying to create some kind of a situation through maybe their speaking, maybe their writing, maybe whatever way they can communicate, and try and see if it can weaken India in any manner. So they have targeted people, no doubt. I don't know, I can't say who were they. I know, but I can't say who were they, who are they rather.
Okay.
But they have been targeting individuals and not organizations in this case.
Okay.
So that whatever they're trying does not come out too fast out. I mean, you don't get to see that immediately.
It is being built over days, we can
built
say.
over days, over a period of time. And,
Got it.
They're trying their best, but again, as I said, they will not be successful.
Doctor, an important question which arises to every viewers or every geopolitical listeners is, why Dhaka? Especially like the political, I mean, we can say location wise, why Dhaka is being chosen? Because this operator has been found dead, and the ISI Wale is also found dead in Dhaka. So what's special with Dhaka? Either it has to do with the present regime, or it has to do with the deep state's connections with the present regime. What's special with Dhaka, Doctor?
See, right now, Bangladesh is in a state of disarray. It has now become what Afghanistan was earlier.
Okay.
I'm talking more from a perspective of terrorist inputs. And they are now a breeding ground. They have now become a breeding ground for terrorists. Dhaka has, not just Dhaka is the capital, but the entire country of Bangladesh has become now a breeding ground for terrorists. And it's not from today. It started back in 2024, September, when two individuals in a car came in a 5-star hotel in the middle of Dhaka, sat there, spoke for an hour, had 2 cups of tea, and went out.
Okay.
That was the start. And from then onwards, things have happened in such a manner that most of the terrorist groups are openly functioning now in Bangladesh.
Dhaka. Okay.
It's not Dhaka per se, but in different parts of the country in Bangladesh.
Okay.
And different districts. And they are actually, in a way, I would say, and that includes most of the terrorist organizations based in Pakistan.
Okay.
Terrorist organizations which are homebred in Bangladesh. And whatever terrorist help they can get from other quarters of the globe. So right now, Bangladesh is kind of it's lying on in a place where anything can happen anytime, and all these makeovers done by Yunus as to this is how Bangladesh is progressing and all. This is all nothing but a farce. The real thing which is growing in Bangladesh instead of the economy is terrorism.
Okay.
I think that's the solid point.
Okay.
It's terrorism rife in Bangladesh currently.
Okay.
And there are, as I said, I can vouch for it, that there are terrorists from groups like Lashkar-e-Toiba and the other breeding groups based out of Pakistan who are right now functioning close to the borders with India, who are there present right now close to the borders of India and in different parts of Bangladesh, even training local Bangladeshi homebred terrorist groups. And there are quite a few places where they are doing it, where the training camps are being held up. And not just that, it's even to do with the amount of material, arms and ammunition that is now being transported. Remember, the distance between the Karachi port and the Chittagong port is there. But the distance, you will see more and more of ships coming up and down. And they're not carrying bathing soaps or toothpastes. They're carrying much more than that.
Doctor, what was the plan? We can't simply debate in the topic of there is a plot to kill Modi. How was it executed, or how was it planned actually? How was it planned? It's not executed. How was it planned, Doctor?
The planning, I can't talk about the planning part of this entire thing.
Okay.
These are all report based.
Yeah. As far as you have analyzed, because it is highly securitized place, and it is where all the one of the 70% of the economically led countries, that is the BRICS nation which is meeting, or the SEO summit which is happening. China is there, Russia is there, India is there. We can all say that actually. So how was the plot?
It's a very good question. Now, suppose if, God forbid, if something would have happened to anybody there during the Xi'an summit, who would have blamed? Everybody would have blamed China because it's happening in their country. Therefore, what would have happened? There would have again raked up tensions with China. But the people who are orchestrating this entire event are sitting miles away.
Okay.
The minds are sitting miles away.
Okay.
The people who are thinking of doing it in different ways. I'll talk to you about something. For example, apart from the ISI, there's one ISI agent who was killed, who was found dead in the Sheraton Hotel in Dhaka on the same day. Now, there are ISI agents who are plenty right now in different parts of Bangladesh. Along with, they have got together with the terrorists.
Okay.
So, is the ISI forces who are telling the terrorists, now go and train the way you have been trained.
Okay.
Train the Bangladeshis the way you have been trained. And those Bangladeshis are young fellows whose brain have been washed. It's a proper brainwash which has taken place, and they are being trained. So it's not just anti-India, but it's going to, as I said before, it's going to become a terrorism hub. That kind of a situation is what's happening right now in Bangladesh. Now, as far as there was a report to do with Terrence Arville Jackson, one of the guys
US
of the US Special Force, who was found dead in a hotel in
Westin.
In the Hotel Westin in Dhaka. Incidentally, that fellow was checked in on 27th of August.
Okay.
In the day, and the US Embassy in Dhaka actually they called up the hotel to book his room, and the next day he checked in. That day, 27th, He has had lunch. He has had dinner at the hotel. 28th, he was out for the entire day, skipping all his meals at the hotel. 29th, he was again out the whole day. But he came back on 29th, late evening, back to the hotel.
Okay.
Now, people are saying that he was there to train Bangladeshi army in St. Martin's.
Okay.
But there are different stories to do with that. I'm not going to vouch for any story
Okay.
here. I'm telling you what the exact facts were. From that perspective, but 29th, he came back. He came back to the hotel. 30th, nobody saw him going out or coming in. 31st, his body was found. And upon his body being found, of course, the Bangladeshi police came in. And there were 3 officials of the US Embassy who went there to the hotel. And on the left side of the hotel, as you go in, is where, apart from the reception, you have the sales department and the marketing side. They went in and they told the manager and the other senior officials of the hotel that, don't talk about this anywhere. There was no postmortem of that fellow.
Okay.
And this 50-year-old guy.
Okay.
There was no postmortem, nothing. He was just taken back. And there was nothing registered. Isn't it a bit of a little
Fishy.
strange? I'm not going to say fishy. I would call it strange. Because, see, there were reports where, I don't know, I can't vouch for the truthness. I'm not saying from my side here. This is just one report which talked about the fact that he was given a kind of stuff to possibly mix with, because he was found naked,
Okay.
heads on.
Towards the bed.
Yeah. And it's a bit of a strange situation in which a body can be found if a sudden death has occurred because of whatever, maybe, if you have say, a heart attack, God forbid, or anything else for that matter. But, this is a very peculiar way that he died. Now, people are trying to make a 2 + 2 = 4 out of it,
Okay.
saying that actually he's the guy who had planned something against our Prime Minister. But you can't establish it. You cannot establish this. This is all in the reports. You cannot establish this fact. Anyway, so that happened. But on the same day, in the Sheraton in Dhaka, the ISI guy was found dead. Now, whether he was put to eternal sleep or that ISI fellow did something because of which he was, is something which the Bangladeshi authorities will be able to talk about further. But one thing is certain, that there was something, as I said before, because the terrorist inputs that have been happening in Bangladesh from different parts of, not just Pakistan, but other places as well. Something may have been cooking up, who knows?
Okay.
Because I have a strange feeling that, something was going amiss.
Okay.
But I think, if you talk about our intelligence agencies, whether it's our research and analysis wing, the RAW, or the SVR of Russia. Now, there have been talks where they have said that both have come together and have done certain stuff. May have been, I don't know. But from a world point of view, what RAW was back in 1968 when it was formed, in just a small theater, to what it is now, it has gone completely different. It's one of the best elite such force in the world right now. So, at a time when you're even a secured conference room in the world of espionage, secure conference room can even be compromised.
Okay.
So at that point of time, you never know what's happening where. I mean, but yeah, certain things are sure. I'm not going to make a 2 out of 2 the way it has been done across in different other
Understood.
ways. But one thing is certain, that as far as Bangladesh is concerned, it is currently being used as a place
Okay.
where you have all sorts of illegal arms and ammunition. You have all the dreaded terrorist groups, presence of the dreaded terrorist groups in the world out there, most of them. And it's like, as I said, it's sitting on a terror bed. The country is right now on a terror bed in just about 14 months. And there is enough proof to prove who is currently operating Bangladesh.
Okay.
Bangladesh is currently not governed or ruled
Okay.
by a Bangladeshi. It's just a picture.
Okay.
It's being done by a third force.
I mean, I'll come back to my earlier question. Like, what were the ways, like, in which they are trying to target the prime minister, actually? Because that remains still unanswered. So, if you can put some lights on that,
Well, I think, see,
according to your research and other things, actually.
I would just say that you cannot establish this fact. Number one, because one is happening in another country, another is taking place in another country. So you cannot make two things together, just like that. So it won't be proper for me to kind of comment whether the death of Terence Jackson had anything to do with Modi ji's
Got it.
presence there in Tianjin.
Got it.
But on the face of it, if I had to believe those reports, I say again, if I had to believe those reports, it could have been done in China itself,
Okay.
not by Chinese, not by Chinese,
Handless.
by some people, or maybe on his way back to India.
Through air. Just
Maybe.
got it. Got it. Got it.
These are, I mean, but this is, I'm taking it too further away.
Got it. Got it.
Because first of all, I cannot vouch or I cannot confirm whether these two incidents are related in any way.
Okay.
But one thing is definitely certain. As far as Bangladesh is concerned, it has become, as I said, the terrorist hotbed right now. And it will do anything to harm India's interests.
Okay.
No doubt on that.
Bangladesh is becoming another Pakistan.
It's not just Pakistan. It has now turned from a Pakistan, it has turned to Afghanistan also.
Got it.
So you have everything lying over there. And it's actually a lawless country, I can right now say, because police, army and everything is just in the name of it. It's a lawless country currently.
Got it.
Because there's no democracy there. It's just nowhere there. They're talking about elections. Well, I don't think elections are going to take place so quickly. Because Yunus is happy, the 86-year-old guy is happy sitting in his chair thinking, oh, I may become the next president of this country. So you never know. He's maybe thinking along those lines, thinking that I want to become the next president of Bangladesh. If I toe the line of the political. Anyway, that's going pure political. But from a geopolitical perspective, there are, as I said, some Indian elements. I repeat, some Indian elements who are definitely helping anti-India forces.
Okay.
And they are from different professions.
Got it. Got it. Got
They're
it.
not sleeper cells, but they are from different professions.
Got it.
That's something which our agencies are definitely taking care of. Because remember, our agencies are awake 24 hours, 365 days. So, not just raw, but all our agencies are the best in the world. So, you cannot kind of, just come and do away with anything that you want. in this country anymore. So
Got it.
that's something which I would like to say.
So, doctor, like, let's talk about the uniqueness or the cooperation between the two intelligence forces. Let us give them their appreciation as well, because their works go unnoticed, because their works has to go unnoticed, but nobody give them the appreciation as well, especially raw when it comes to everything, like be it every other operations, or be it during Operation Sindoor, or every other unique things. So what's your appreciation, word of appreciation, or what's your take on raw
Well,
especially?
yeah, it's a very good question. I think I would, first of all, as far as Roy is concerned, uh, we had a person named Black Tiger.
Okay.
And Black Tiger was uh, one of India's leading agents, did his work brilliantly
Okay.
in our neighborhood, Pakistan.
Okay.
We all know about it. This is back in the 80s. He is no
Okay.
more now. But Raw, as I said before, the way it started off in a small area with minuscule number of officers to start with. And one thing which was also there was that they said at that formation, during that formation period, they did not have people only from a police background.
Okay.
They said, we should have people from other backgrounds also who can contribute to what we are trying to find out, what we are trying to achieve. And from then till now, I think we have traversed a lot. And our intelligence agencies, raw, plus our military intelligence side, they are the best in the world right now. Because you talk about Mossad, you talk about CIA, talk about MI5, we can be at par with them at a time when decades back, when RAW was formed, the initial training part was carried out in different countries for our officers. One very peculiar thing used to happen at that point of time, where that everybody was called by their name. And one person was called the secretary, and there was a name for another person there. I mean, a terminology. Two terms were used. The rest were all called by their names. I'm talking about the late 60s and very early 1970s. And, when Bangladesh became independent, that the Pakistani forces and everything, that entire Mukti Bahini that was set up, and everything that happened, RAW played a very big role in that. And I think that's the reason I'm saying we have seen uh, we have seen several incidents of violence all through. And it's growing from strength to strength. And today, where our intelligence agencies are, that's the reason I say they're the best in the world right now. Because from all perspectives, you need to understand that nowadays, intelligence is not about just getting information or doing something with that information, taking action, blah, blah, all that. Because of the rapid rise of technology, now there are certain tech tools which are being used. And there are several other things which come into the focus. India is way ahead in many of these things. So I would say that the agencies, as I said before, just like the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force, the agencies whom people will never know.
Got it.
It's a strange thing where somebody dies fighting for the country. The person is well acknowledged
Got it.
before the public, or in front of the country. God forbid if something happens on the other side, or I mean the agency side, we can't do that. I mean, as Indians, we can't kind of We will honor the sacrifice, but we can't put that out in public. We can't. So, from that perspective, I think they are the real unsung heroes of the country. And that's the reason I took the name of Black Tiger. And he was just a guy who used to do plays, street plays in Rajasthan.
Okay.
That's how he was recruited. And then it's an entirely great story of resilience, of love for the motherland, and what he did. So, I think the agencies of India, they have risen leaps and bounds and are going very well right now and doing really well, I would say.
Got it. Doctor, let us, finish this part. What was the conversation which happened between Prime Minister Modi and President Putin? Because after that conversation, Prime Minister has been, we can see that he has lessened his travel. He is not traveling much as he was traveling before to the foreign nations and other countries as well. So, what's the message which has been given, or what was the topic which was discussed?
See, I was not there.
Okay.
and 4 plus 4, 8, I can't. As I said before, again, we have been making 4 plus 4, 2 plus 2, 4 with what happened to the US Special Forces guy in Bangladesh, vis-a-vis any kind of plans that was there against our Prime Minister, or even the death of the ISI agent in Sheraton in Dhaka. Now, all coming together. So there's no way of confirming it, no way of establishing it. You cannot establish or confirm. You can chat about it, you can talk about it, but you can't establish it. You can't say that, yes, this has happened. The same way, I would say that, I think that 45-minute conversation definitely has had a role to play. I don't know in what, I'm sure both nations, Prime Minister Modi ji and Putin, Mr. Putin, the president. Now, both of them definitely talked about, I'm sure, bilateral relations would be there, I presume. I don't know, I presume. But maybe something more than that, which we won't know. Remember that car, that limousine that I talked about? No spy satellite can spot it. Nobody knows what is going inside the car in a conversation between two people. So it's only between our Prime Minister and the Russian President as to what conversation they had. But I'm sure it is for good for both the countries. I'm sure. That much I can say.
Now, Doctor, in the past 4 to 5 years, we have seen a number of regime changes. Let's start from Sri Lanka and Myanmar to some extent, and Pakistan to some extent as well, Bangladesh, Nepal. Like recently, Nepal has had a regime change as well. What's going on in all these countries? We have spoken this earlier as well. They have tried it with India, but they couldn't succeed it. What is actually happening in these countries, doctors? What has actually happened? And we have talked about the deep state involvement, and we have talked about how they execute such things. And as you said, here, all these things, I can understand all these things. But what are they attaining after all these regime changes? That's one big question we have to
see. If you have such kind of regime, it's not about just a regime change. What it brings along is some kind of instability as well, even if it is temporary. Now, those kind of instability that is happening, they cannot bring that in India.
Okay.
They cannot do that in India. So they have chosen other neighboring countries to try and do that there, so that India will keep a watch, has to watch out as to what's happening in its neighborhood. Maybe that's one of the most important reasons why. Because one thing is certain, that the way, the so-called, the way these things have come about in Sri Lanka starting, then Nepal, little bit of Bangladesh Bangladesh is not just a small regime change. Bangladesh, as I said, has gone from a democracy to a terrorist hub right
Okay.
now. So it has completely changed. It's not just little bit. The other two countries, Sri Lanka and this thing, they have also undergone the changes. So in a way, this unsettlement, temporary one, it's to some way or the other try and affect India.
Okay.
But they don't, whoever has done it, whichever groups have done it, they don't realize one thing, that in case of India, it's not the India 30, 40 years back that they are encountering now. It's a new India. It's a नया भारत. और भारत के खिलाफ आंख भी उठा के कोई देखेगा. We are not going to say a namaste to that person. We are going to plug the eye out. That's what India is.
What is the way forward for all these countries, doctor? Because, like, okay, if they can do it now, they can do it anytime as well. Even though Sheikh Hasina has been thrown out of power. Like, even we can see that KP Oli Sharma is not as strong as Sheikh Hasina, but we have seen Imran Khan being thrown out of regimes as well, and we can see the Rajapaksa is thrown out of Sri Lanka, and so whatever, like wherever countries are, like even the strong men have been thrown out of power. So what is the way forward for all these countries?
As I said, if you cannot hit a particular target, you try to hit targets which are nearby, surrounding it. That's the basic thing. Now, in the process, what has happened is those small countries, those have also been affected. Temporarily even, Nepal has now come back to normalcy. Sri Lanka is doing very well now. But see, Bangladesh, it has gone from bad to worse. What it was vis-a-vis, I mean, it was a growing economy under Sheikh Hasina. It was going really well. The amount of money that country took as a loan during the entire tenure of the Sheikh Hasina's political party, the Awami League, vis-a-vis the amount of money that has been taken as loan by the Zionists will reveal the truth.
Got it.
And to the extent, people are now taking out the nuts and bolts of bridges. This is where the country has come to. It's not going to go away so easily.
Okay.
But as our neighbor, we need to keep an eye. We are keeping an eye. So that nothing, whatever is happening inside the country, that's a different question. But under no circumstances should it spill over. Because if it spills over in any manner whatsoever within our country's border, then one thing is certain, they will not be spared.
Is India watching all these situations very carefully? Because as we can see that it is very active. RAW is also very active in all these countries. Like, is India watching all these situations very carefully, doctor? What is your take on that?
India is actually watching it very carefully, but as I said,
Closely.
closely, carefully. It's good to watch, analyze, because you have to keep an eye out. I mean, what's happening. But remember always, the basic rule that we always try and follow is it's better to preempt rather than react. Because the more we can have that preemptive nature in ourselves, I'm not talking about only about what's happening in other countries, but even within our country also. If the more that preemptive nature comes in, the better the output will be. And always remember, these preemptive steps have always reaped dividends for the country. And information warfare, for example, is nothing but this. It's not about undersea cables being lined up, spy satellites moving up. Those are old stuff now. Forget that kind of tech. We read minds now. Sitting opposite, I can read the mind. That's where it has grown to. This is where the information warfare has taken. So it's growing further in depth. So, it's a developing field. And that's the reason why I can tell you one thing for sure. All these things happening, not just in our neighborhood, but across. After a point of time, maybe 5 years, maybe 8 years or 10 years, within that period, the war will be more fought through IW rather than a rifle.
Okay.
Because you have to be, and you have to be specialists in the IW. You cannot just come from any other, profession and suddenly take up IW, because it has a lot of things to take together. You should have the ability of that, which we call in journalism, which we call a nose for news. Starting from that, everything from your creative skills to your tech skills to that preemptive skills, when to hit, how to hit, where to hit. Everything comes into account here. And I must say there are a few very small countries, in one or two in Europe, one or two in Asia, further down, who are really good in IW.
Got it.
They may not have the best of the arms and ammunition of the globe, but they are really very good IW masters. And I think that's something which India is also now growing very well, because tech-wise it's the number one in the world, and you have some of the best brains also. So if both together merge, we would again have a wonderful combination of IW specialists in our country.
So, like, what are the lessons we should learn from all these incidents, or the takeaways or from this incidents, or from this news, especially for India as a country, or as a growing nation, or as a superpower, which is in the present Asian scenario, and what are the lessons which we need to take down, Doctor?
See, I think we should never be overconfident, because in this case, in this kind of scenarios, we should take it as the government is currently doing. It's perfectly right in the way it is kind of handling everything. You have to take it. You have to slowly intake it first, understand, and then react on it. But you have to know beforehand that something like this is happening, so you can plan beforehand itself. That something may happen if 2 plus 2 becomes 5 almost all of a sudden instead of 4. So that is something which you should take in beforehand itself, and then go and do the work. So we are proceeding in the right direction, no doubt on that. And I think, as I said, India is not just a global superpower now, but it's a superpower where countries long back which used to look down upon India is kind of, in a way saying, oh, we would take this from your country. We would do this, and if you can help us. Now, these are the words which are coming out in their official communique. Now, these words in themselves, small words, tell you how the story of India has changed for the better, and how the story of India will change for the best.
So I'll like to conclude by one question. Are we back to the era that we don't need to trust anybody, and there is no permanent enemy in the world of geopolitics, and we have only one trusted friend, that is Russia?
Well, Russia, I'm going to, of course, because we've had a very good relation for so long a time. But with other countries, I can say one thing, that there are no permanent enemies or no permanent friends. But with Russia, it's a different case with us altogether. We have had a brilliant relationship right since our formation, days post that. But we need to be cautious about not just what's happening in our neighborhood, across the world, of course. And I think our ministers, our bureaucrats are doing a fabulous job. Currently, kind of the way they're handling the international affairs the entire international affairs scenario, despite countries which are trying to, kind of trying to create some kind of a situation which may not be of good image as far as image is concerned of India. But even that we are able to handle very well.
Got it. Got it. Got it. So thank you so much, Doctor, for your wonderful time. And do we have anything left? Like, do you have anything to say?
Well, I think all I have said, I think I've tried to. I'm just making one thing very clear right at the end, that as far as this entire news about Modi ji is concerned, I'll not make a connection. I will not, because I have no proof of that. So I'm not going to make that connection. But individually, when we are talking about that incident in Bangladesh, for example, or the neutralizing of the ISI agent in Radisson in Dhaka, the same way, ISI currently, I would just like to say this, ISI is currently thinking more than it can do.
Okay.
And they have a very good habit of trying to win over initially. That's a very common habit, of course. It's like, for example, if I'm talking to you now, sitting here, and I say, wow, you're doing a fabulous job. And the moment you go out and the third person comes in, he says, this guy is our next target. So this is what they're trying. I mean, they're doing it, but they're not going to go further down the line, because they have been beaten continuously in this war of intelligence.
Okay.
More than India has defeated militarily Pakistan, I think the intelligence has also beaten the ISI. Our intelligence has beaten the ISI times and times over.
Got it. Got it. The untold stories.
The untold stories. And it's like, I would say, that's the reason, as I said, I'm proud of all our intelligence agencies. They have done a fabulous job, and I think we should salute all these people working in those agencies for us, and tirelessly from day and night, from night and day, and making sure that nothing untoward happens, or nothing wrong happens within our country.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Thank you so much, Doctor, for your wonderful time. We'll meet soon, and we'll give people, our subscribers and our viewers, more exclusive things like this. Thank you so much, Doctor, for your wonderful time.
Thank you very much. Namaskar.